There is a soft voice echoing through the chambers of your soul right now. You may not hear it with your ears, but your heart knows it well. It has been there in the nights you cried yourself to sleep. In the moments you wondered if anyone saw you. In the silence when you questioned if you still mattered. That voice is not distant. It leans close. Closer than your fears. Closer than your pain. Closer than your next breath. And it whispers, "I have not given up on you." You can feel the weight of those words. Can't you? They pierce through the lies that told you it was over. They reach past the shame that said you were too broken. They settle deep into the wounds you've carried. Wounds you thought disqualified you from being loved, from being chosen, from being seen. But hear this. The God who formed you has never once turned his back on you. Not in your failure, not in your doubt, not in your darkest night. His voice is steady, unwavering, and it speaks again. I have not given up on you. Life has a way of making you believe you are forgotten. People walk away, doors close, prayers feel unanswered, and in that emptiness, it's easy to assume heaven has gone silent. But silence is not absence. Even in the quiet, God is speaking. Even when you can't trace his hand, his heart is holding you. He has not given up on you. Maybe you've carried regrets like heavy stones, each one convincing you that you've gone too far. Maybe you've built walls around your heart because hope felt dangerous. Maybe you've convinced yourself that grace was for everyone else but you. But listen to the whisper cutting through every layer of fear and failure. I have not given up on you. Those words are not a lifeline thrown too late. They are a declaration from the one who refuses to let you go. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in the truth. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not beyond redemption. You are loved right here, right now, as you are. God is not waiting for a future version of you to decide your worth. He has chosen you already. His hands still hold you. His eyes still see you. His heart still beats for you. You are his. And he is not letting go. There is a purpose on your life that your pain cannot erase. There is a calling on your name that your mistakes cannot cancel. There is a love over your story that your doubt cannot diminish. That is why the whisper remains. That is why it keeps coming, even when you try to silence it. Because the one who began a good work in you is not finished yet. He is not walking away. He is not giving up. He is speaking over you with the same power that spoke the stars into being. I have not given up on you. There is a tenderness in God's voice when he says, I have not given up on you. It is not the voice of disappointment. It is not the voice of frustration. It is the voice of a father who knows every detail of your story and still calls you his. He has seen the moments you are proud of and the ones you wish you could erase. He has watched you stumble and fall. Yet every time, his hand has reached to lift you again. That is who he is. That is why he whispers with unwavering love, I have not given up on you. You were never meant to carry the weight of proving yourself worthy. Grace was never about earning. It was always about receiving. The cross was not built because you got everything right. It was built because he knew you couldn't. And even in your weakest moment, he chose you. Even in your deepest failure, he called you beloved. Even in your darkest night, he refused to let go. That is the heart behind those words. Not condemnation, not judgment, only love that refuses to quit. Maybe you are standing in a place where hope feels foreign. You've prayed prayers that seem unanswered. You've walked roads that feel lonely. You've cried tears that no one else has seen. But the whisper cuts through it all. I have not given up on you. That is not a promise for someone else. That is for you, right now, in the middle of your mess. In the middle of your questions. In the middle of your pain. This is where the story shifts. This is where redemption begins. Not when you have it all together. Not when you finally figure it out. But here, now, in the broken places where His love can pour in like healing oil. You are not disqualified. You are not too far gone. You are not the exception to grace. You are the reason for it. And right now, if this message is reaching your heart, pause with me for a moment. If these words are speaking life into places you thought were dead, let it sink in. And if you can, share this truth with someone else who needs it. Like this episode if it touched you. Leave a comment and tell your story. Subscribe so we can keep walking together through the whispers of His love. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, because you never know whose life might be saved by the simple reminder, God has not given up on them either. Now breathe. Let the weight of those words settle deep inside. I have not given up on you. That is not just a phrase. That is a covenant. That is heaven declaring over your life that your story is still being written and the author refuses to put down his pen. The same hands that formed you are still holding you. The same voice that spoke life into you is still speaking. And the same love that found you then is finding you now. There are seasons when the weight of life feels unbearable. When you wake up and wonder if you can make it through one more day. When you feel like you are holding on by the thinnest thread. In those moments, you may think God has moved far away, but the truth is the opposite. In those moments, He draws nearer. He leans in close and whispers again, I have not given up on you. You see, God's love is not fragile. It does not break when you do. It does not waver when you doubt. It does not run when you struggle. His love is steadfast, immovable, and unrelenting. He does not look at you and see a lost cause. He looks at you and sees a child worth fighting for, a soul worth redeeming, a story worth finishing. That is why He has not given up on you. Maybe you've heard other voices louder than His. The voice of fear saying you'll never change. The voice of shame saying you're too dirty to be loved. The voice of regret saying you've wasted too much time. But there is a stronger voice, gentle yet unshakable, saying, I have not given up on you. And that voice carries more power than every lie combined. There is a sacredness in knowing you are still pursued. That God has seen every wrong turn and still chooses you. That He has watched every mistake and still calls you His. That He has felt every ounce of your pain and still whispers hope into your heart. You cannot outrun a love like that. You cannot lose what refuses to let go. Sometimes we think that right version of us is the one God loves most. But hear me, the version of you right now, with all your mess and questions and flaws, is the one He loves fiercely. You are not being tolerated, you are being cherished. You are not barely accepted, you are fully embraced. And every time you doubt that, His voice rises above the noise, I have not given up on you. If you are listening to this and your heart is breaking, let this truth be your anchor. Let it hold you through the storm. Let it remind you that you are not alone, not abandoned, not hopeless. The God who formed you has His hand on your story, and He will not let go. No matter how far you feel, His love is closer still. No matter how lost you think you are, His grace knows the way back. I have not given up on you. Those words are not just for today. They are for every day you need them. They are for every night you cry, every step you stumble, every moment you forget who you are. They are the echo of heaven over your life, constant and unchanging, until the day you see the fullness of His promise come true. There is something holy about the way God holds on to you. His grip is not weak. His love is not conditional. He does not stay only when you are strong. He holds you especially when you are weak. That is why His whisper carries so much power. I have not given up on you. Those words are not casual comfort. They are eternal truth wrapped in love. You may think of all the reasons why He should walk away. The failures you cannot forget. The promises you didn't keep. The prayers you stopped praying because hope felt too heavy. But every reason you list is met with the cross. Every accusation you hear is drowned out by mercy. Every doubt you carry is answered by grace. God's love does not give up. It cannot give up, because His love is not based on what you do, it is based on who He is. You were never meant to earn this. You were meant to receive it. That is why it feels so overwhelming. Because unconditional love always does. It doesn't make sense to the human mind. It doesn't fit into the boxes we create. But it is real, and it is yours. And every time you forget, every time you question, every time you run, the whisper follows, I have not given up on you. Think of the moments when you felt furthest from God. The times you were sure you had crossed a line you couldn't return from. And yet, here you are, listening, breathing, being reminded. That alone is proof. Proof that His love is still chasing you. Proof that His grace is still covering you. Proof that His hands have never let go. Sometimes the hardest thing to believe is that you are still chosen. But you are chosen in your weakness, chosen in your wandering, chosen in your brokenness. God does not choose you because you are perfect. He chooses you because you are His. And nothing you have done or will do can change that. Let these words sink deep. I have not given up on you. They are not a temporary promise. They are an eternal vow. They are heaven's way of telling you that the story is not over. The plan is not ruined. And your value has not diminished. You are still loved. You are still seen. You are still worth everything He gave to call you His. When God says, I have not given up on you, it is not just a statement. It is a promise sealed in eternity. His voice is steady because His love is unshakable. You may change. Circumstances may change. People may change. But His heart for you does not. From the moment He formed you in the secret place, He saw every step you would take, every wrong turn, every triumph, every tear, and still, He chose you. You were not created to carry the weight of perfection. You were created to carry the weight of His presence. That is why His love does not depend on your ability to get everything right. His love meets you exactly where you are, in the middle of the struggle, in the depth of the questions, in the places you try to hide, and in every one of those places, His whisper comes, I have not given up on you. Maybe you are tired of trying to be enough. Tired of feeling like you've failed too many times. Tired of wondering if things will ever change. Hear this. God's love does not tire. His mercy does not run out. His grace does not have an expiration date. The very fact that you are hearing these words is evidence that His Spirit is still pursuing you. That His heart is still fighting for you. There is no sin too great to cover. No wound too deep to heal. No distance too far to close. God's love crosses every barrier you build. His grace floods every desert you walk through. His hands reach lower than you can fall. That is why He can say with complete certainty, I have not given up on you. Because there is nothing you can do to make Him stop loving you. Let this truth be the anchor in your storm. When the waves of doubt crash over you, hold on to His words. When the lies get loud, turn your ear to His whisper. When everything in you wants to give up, remember that He hasn't, and He never will. His love is not dependent on your strength. It is sustained by His. Your story is not finished. The chapters you regret are not the end. The author of your life is still writing, and His pen is dipped in redemption. Every line, every page, every moment is being woven into something beautiful. And when you see the full picture, you will understand why He never gave up on you. There are times when you feel like you are holding on by nothing but a thread. You wonder if your faith is too small, if your strength is too weak, if your story is beyond repair. But in that very place of weakness, God leans in closer and whispers, I have not given up on you. It is not a demand to be stronger. It is a reminder that His strength is holding you when yours is gone. God's love is not like human love. It does not leave when it gets hard. It does not give up when it gets messy. It does not shrink when you stumble. His love runs deeper than your deepest sin and higher than your highest failure. It sees the worst of you and still calls out the best. That is why his voice is steady even when yours is trembling. I have not given up on you. You may feel unworthy, but worth was never yours to earn. It was his to declare. And he declared it over you from the beginning of time. You are worth every drop of blood he shed. You are worth every breath he gives. You are worth the relentless love that refuses to quit. Sometimes we think the measure of God's love is in the blessings we can see. But the greatest measure of his love is that he stayed. Through every valley, through every storm, through every tear, his presence has never left you. Even in the moments you felt most alone. That is proof enough. He has not given up on you. Look at your life for a moment. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still listening. That is not an accident. That is not coincidence. That is evidence. Evidence that his hand is still on you. Evidence that his purpose is still alive in you. Evidence that his whisper is still true. I have not given up on you. And when you doubt again, and you will, come back to these words. Let them wrap around your heart like a shield. Let them drown out every lie and every fear. You are not too far. You are not too broken. You are not beyond his reach. The God who made you has not changed his mind about you. When God looks at you, he does not see a failure. He does not see someone who has gone too far. He does not see someone beyond saving. He sees his child. He sees the one he formed with intention. He sees the one he loved before you ever knew his name. That is why his whisper is so consistent. I have not given up on you. Because his love is not reactive, it is eternal. You may feel like you are too far gone, but you are not. The cross reaches further than your furthest sin. His grace runs deeper than your darkest night. His mercy shines brighter than your deepest shame. You cannot outrun a love like this. You cannot out-sin the grace of a God who refuses to let you go. And every time you try, his whisper follows. I have not given up on you. Think of the moments you thought you were alone. The nights you cried silently. The prayers you whispered into the dark. God was there for every one of them. He caught every tear. He heard every word. He held every piece of your breaking heart. And now, he is piecing it back together, whispering into every crack, I have not given up on you. This is not about being perfect. This is not about earning love. This is about surrendering to the truth that has always been there. You are loved as you are. You are chosen as you are. You are seen as you are. And nothing can change that. Your story is still in his hands. The pages you regret are not thrown away. They are being rewritten. The chapters you wish could disappear are being redeemed. The parts of you that you think are too broken are the very places his glory will shine the brightest. That is the power of a God who refuses to give up. Let his words be louder than every fear. Let them drown out every lie. Let them hold you when you can't hold yourself. I have not given up on you. Say it out loud if you need to. Whisper it to your own heart. Because it's true, and it will always be true. God's love for you is not going anywhere. There is a deep comfort in knowing that God's love does not depend on your ability to hold it together. His commitment to you does not rise and fall with your strength. He is constant when you are inconsistent. He is faithful when you are fearful. He is present when you feel distant. And in every moment, his whisper remains, I have not given up on you. You might feel like you've wasted too much time. Like the mistakes you've made have cost you the future you dreamed of. But hear this. God is the Redeemer of time. He restores what was lost. He rebuilds what was broken. He brings life where death tried to win. And no matter how much you think you've ruined, he looks at you and says, I have not given up on you. There is nothing you can do to make him love you less. There is nothing you can do to make him walk away. His love is not based on your performance. It is anchored in His nature. And His nature is love. Relentless, unstoppable, eternal love. Picture this. Every step you've taken, He has been beside you. Every detour, every wrong turn, every time you tried to run away, He was there. Not to condemn, but to guide you back. Not to shame, but to heal. Not to punish, but to restore. His whisper has been steady through it all. I have not given up on you. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not forgotten. The God who made the universe calls you His. And He has never once changed His mind. That is the truth you can build your life on. That is the anchor you can hold in the storm. That is the light that will guide you home. So, wherever you are right now, pause and let that truth sink in. Say it with me. I am not forgotten. I am not abandoned. I am loved. God has not given up on me. And He never will. When everything around you feels like it's falling apart, the enemy will try to convince you that God has walked away, that He has turned His back, that you are alone. But the whisper cuts through the lies. Steady and unwavering. I have not given up on you. That voice is not faint because it is weak. It is gentle because it is love. Your circumstances do not define His presence. Your failures do not erase His promises. Your doubts do not scare Him away. God is not fragile. His love is not conditional. His purpose for you has not been cancelled. Even in the moments you wanted to quit, He was holding you together. Even in the nights you thought you wouldn't make it, His hand was sustaining you. And now, through every tear, He speaks again. I have not given up on you. You may feel like your faith is small, but Jesus said even faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. It's not about the size of your faith. It's about the strength of the one your faith is in. And He is unshakable. He is immovable. He is forever faithful. Think about this. The God who created galaxies still calls you by name. The God who holds the oceans in His hands still holds your heart. The God who spoke light into darkness still speaks hope into your soul. That is the God who is saying to you right now, I have not given up on you. Let this be the truth you carry into every day. Let it be the voice that speaks louder than fear, louder than shame, louder than regret. You are not abandoned. You are not forsaken. You are deeply, endlessly loved. And that love is not going anywhere. So rise again. Breathe again, hope again, because the God of redemption is still writing your story, and He refuses to put down His pen. Every time you doubt, every time you stumble, every time you wonder if this is the end, hear it again. I have not given up on you. Those words are not a bandage over a wound. They are the healing itself. They are the reminder that your story is still unfolding under the hands of a God who makes all things new. You were made with intention. Every detail of your life, even the parts you wish could be erased, are seen and known by Him. And still, His love has never faltered. Still, His grace has never stopped flowing. Still, His voice has never stopped calling you back home. There are places in your heart you think are too dark for Him to touch. But those are the very places He wants to pour His light into. There are pieces of your story you think are too broken to fix. But those are the very pages He wants to rewrite with redemption. There is nothing too far gone for the God who defeated death itself. You are not defined by what you've done. You are defined by the one who made you and the love that will not let you go. That is why His whisper remains constant through every season. I have not given up on you. And as you carry these words into the rest of your life, let them become more than a comfort. Let them become courage. Let them become the reason you rise again, the reason you love again, the reason you hope again. Because the God who has not given up on you is the God who will finish what He started in you. Your story is not over. Your value is not lost. Your future is not ruined. You are still His. You are still loved. And heaven is still singing over you the same truth it has from the very beginning. I have not given up on you. There are moments when you think your story is over, when the weight of regret feels heavier than hope, when you look at your life and wonder if you have gone too far for God to bring you back. But then His voice cuts through the darkness with unshakable certainty. I have not given up on you. Those words are not a soft suggestion. They are a divine decree. They are heaven's way of telling you that nothing you have done can erase what He has spoken over you. His promises are not fragile. His purpose for you is not broken. His love for you is not conditional. He knew every wrong turn before you took it, and He still chose to call you His. You may feel like you are standing in the ruins of what used to be a dream. But God specializes in rebuilding from the ashes. You may feel like the fire has burned too much, that there is nothing left to salvage. But what you see as the end is often the very place He begins. He looks at the rubble of your story and sees a foundation for redemption. He looks at the pieces and sees a masterpiece in progress. And as He works, He whispers again, I have not given up on you. There is a reason these words pierce so deeply. It's because your soul knows them to be true. Something inside you recognizes the voice of the one who made you. It's the same voice that spoke light into darkness. The same voice that calmed the storm. The same voice that called you into existence. And that voice has not changed. That voice is still calling you home. Let this truth carry you through every season. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not a lost cause. You are a beloved child of the Most High God. And His grip on you is stronger than any failure, deeper than any fear, and louder than any lie. He has not given up on you, and He never will. There is a sacred strength in the words, I have not given up on you. They are not just a comfort for this moment, they are a promise for every moment to come. When you stumble, they are there. When you rise, they are there. When you doubt, when you hope, when you cry, when you heal, they are always there. Because God's love is not a fleeting feeling. It is an unbreakable covenant. You may feel like the weight of your past is too much to overcome. But grace is heavier still. It outweighs every mistake, every regret, every scar. You may feel like the future is too uncertain to step into. But His promises are more certain than the ground beneath your feet. You may feel like your heart is too broken to love again. But His hands are gentle enough to piece it back together and strong enough to make it whole. Listen closely. The voice speaking to you is not disappointed. It is not angry. It is not waiting for you to prove yourself. It is the voice of the one who knew everything about you and still chose you. It is the voice of perfect love. It is the voice that has been pursuing you through every season, through every valley, through every storm. And it is saying again, I have not given up on you. If you can, pause right here. Let those words settle deep into the places you have hidden. Let them heal what you thought could not be healed. Let them breathe life into what you thought was gone forever. And if they have touched your heart, share this message, like this episode, leave a comment with your story. Subscribe so we can keep walking together through these whispers of truth. Share it with someone who needs to hear that their story is not over. Because someone out there is waiting to hear. God has. You are not defined by the battles you've lost, but by the love that has never left. You are not marked by the times you've fallen, but by the hands that keep lifting you. You are not the sum of your failures. You are the object of His unrelenting love. That is who you are. That is why He can say with such power, I have not given up on you.